Hi, today we are going to talk about graph in algorithms. First, we are going to introduce the graph types and to link it from the tree we are all familiar with to the graph topic. So let's get started. There are four types of graph. The first one we are going to talk about is undirected acyclic graph. What does it mean? We can see the picture on the right side. First, let's look at the undirected keyword. That means the lines, or we call edges here, have no direction between the 2 points you see here. You can see go from this point to this point or the other way around from the top point to the down point. So there is no direction, meaning undirected. Another keyword is acyclic, means there is no circle being formed in this graph. For instance, you cannot see a circle going around back. There's no such things in this graph. So it's called acyclic. So this is the first type of graph, undirected acyclic graph. Let's move on to the next one. It's also undirected, but now it's a cyclic graph. So let's also see at the right for an example. For an undirected cyclic graph, there's still no direction, but you can see here, there's a circle being formed here. So this makes this graph a cyclic graph. So this is our second type of graphs, undirected cyclic graph. Let's go on. The third type is directed acyclic graph. Let's see the example on the right. So for directed keyword, that means right now, between points, there will be direction. For instance, this point can only go to this point, but not the other way around. We have to follow the arrows here to know where one point can go to another. Next, it's an acyclic graph, meaning even though there are directions, arrows here, there is still no circle being formed. If you try to go through all the points, there is still no circle you can find. So this is the third type, directed acyclic graph. The fourth type is directed cyclic graph. Let's see the example. So it's still directed, meaning there is directions between points. But now it's a cyclic graph, meaning if you follow some points with their directions, you will see a circle being formed, like this one on the right. That makes this graph a cyclic graph. So this is the fourth type of graphs. Now with this understanding of these four types of graph, let's see how a tree we've learned about in the past can be linked to the concept of graph. Let's talk about another example. On the right, this is a rooted tree, meaning we can pick one of the points as the root, and then see it as a tree structure going from the top to down, by layer and layer. Let's adapt what we learned today to this rooted tree. Which type on the left is actually a rooted tree? You can see on the right, there's no direction. So meaning it's an undirected graph. Is there a cycle or a circle being formed? No, there is none. So actually a rooted tree is a directed acyclic graph. That means the same. You could also say the binary tree, red-black tree, 2-3 tree, all those are a subset of graph. So that's how we go from one concept to the another. We link them in a meaningful conceptual way. Tree is just a subset of graph. That's why we are learning it as a bigger topic here, starting today. And now we've understood rooted tree is a subset of graph. Now let's grab another concept here. I believe you've already heard about DAG, this keyword. Can you find it in one of these four graph types? Directed acyclic graph. and just see the initial DAG. This is the one we are talking about. In many workflow, we are using a DAG style. There is no cycle, no circle to going back. So your workflow is always going forward. If you see the graph on the right, you can see this is one of the DAG example. From this example, you can find a start point, like this one in this example. And it will go forward by following the direction to another point. But there is no going back, meaning there is no cycle in this graph. That makes this a perfect way to set up a workflow in your business. So now if you understand these 4 types of graph types, let's give you a quick overview. The first type is undirected acyclic graph. You can also call it rooted tree. The second type is undirected cyclic graph, meaning there is a circle being formed here. The third one is directed acyclic graph. There's direction being involved here. This is also known as DAG for workflow setup. The fourth one is directed cyclic graph, meaning there is direction and a circle being formed. So this is the 4 types of graph we introduced today. Next, we are gonna talk about the edge and the vertex concept in graph. See you next time.